Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United are set to make a transfer bid for Declan Rice to test West Ham's resolve. West Ham value Declan Rice at £100 million. I think Declan Rice would be a great signing for Manchester United. The reasons is because he's young, he's got a lot of development in him, he's predominantly a holding midfielder and he can also be deployed as a centre-half. He's well proven in the Premier League. And he breaks up the play well. So they are the reasons. He'd be a good adequate replacement for Nemanja Matic. At one point it said that Solskjaer agreed with our recruitment team that Declan Rice would be the perfect signing for the club. Darren Fletcher, our technical director, did say earlier on this year that Declan Rice asked about Man United when he was on international duty with England. But reports came out the other month saying that Declan Rice is interested in joining Man United, and he asked Harry Maguire and Luke Shaw about life at Old Trafford. I reckon, Rice could be available for around 50 million in the summer transfer window. West Ham won't get £100 million for him. I reckon he's worth from between 60 to 70 million pounds. Rice has been a long-serving player at West Ham. He's enjoyed, 7 years with them. He's under contract with them until 2024. Before he was at West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never got in Chelsea's first team. Chelsea have obviously been in for him before. When Frank Lampard was their manager, he was their number one target. Lampard was disappointed when he missed out on Declan Rice. By the way, Declan Rice has already said that he's desperate for Jesse Lingard to seal a permanent transfer at West Ham. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer did make his final decision on Jesse Lingard. He's ready to sell him. The reason we loaned him out, Lingard, is because he got frozen out of our squad. Earlier on this year, there was talks of a Declan Rice and Jesse Lingard swap deal. Now, Manchester United prefer to sign Jadon Sancho over Harry Kane. Jadon Sancho is available for £80 million. Borussia Dortmund have already told Jadon Sancho that he can leave the club this summer. He said Solskjaer made Jadon Sancho a transfer priority. Jadon Sancho wants his future resolved before the start of the European Championships. Jadon Sancho has Man United transfer hopes as Borussia Dortmund are looking for replacements. Dortmund want Callum Hudson-Odoi from Chelsea as a replacement for Sancho. Fabrizio Romano did say not so long ago that Man United are interested in Sancho, but there's been no official talks or bid yet. It's still an open race. Yeah, Chelsea are in for him, Liverpool have been in for him before, and Bayern Munich not so long ago entered the race. Man United do remain in talks with Jadon Sancho's representatives. Man United is the most realistic destination for Sancho. Borussia Dortmund have already confirmed that they've got a gentleman's agreement with Sancho that will allow him to depart Dortmund in the summer transfer window. And the Manchester Evening News said that Sancho's pushing for a transfer out of Dortmund. So Sancho expects to complete a move to Man United in the summer transfer window. It'll be a very, very good signing for us. You know, the reasons Jadon Sancho will dramatically improve us. He's predominantly a right winger. He's still young. He's got a lot of development in him. He will exceed expectations in the Premier League. He'd fit our team perfectly, and he's got a very, very good friendship with Marcus Rashford. You know, he speaks to Marcus Rashford a lot, so they are the reasons. Jadon Sancho was our number one priority target last summer. Sancho to Man United last summer was extremely close because the personal terms had been agreed, the agent fees had been agreed, and a contract had been agreed. But the reason we didn't get him is because we was reluctant to meet Borussia Dortmund's 108 million valuation. We was only willing to pay so much up front. Dortmund did say though that we had until the 10th of August to sign the player. We missed out on that deadline, so he remained at Dortmund. He's endured 4 years at Borussia Dortmund. Sancho's got a contract with them until 2023. Dortmund paid just £7 million for him from Man City. So yeah. So now apparently Man United are not going to make an offer for Harry Kane this summer. It recently said though that Man United will offer £200 million plus the captaincy for Harry Kane. The Manchester Evening News said not so long ago that Man United are preparing to sign Kane, and we are ready to double his wages to around £400,000 a week. Plus we'd pay an £18 million signing on fee to compensate the loss of his earnings on his Tottenham contract. Mauricio Pochettino could be making a return to Tottenham. You know, could that convince Harry Kane to remain at Tottenham? Well, probably yeah, because I think Pochettino said he won't go back to Tottenham if Tottenham decide to sell Harry Kane. But yeah, Sky Sports said that Pochettino's in talks with Tottenham over a return to the club because he's unhappy at PSG. Daniel Levy, he recently slapped a £200 million asking price on Harry Kane. £200 million is a world record fee. Obviously, Daniel Levy doesn't want Tottenham to sell Harry Kane because he's aware of how much of an imperative player he is. And obviously, Tottenham will really, really struggle without him. And they've been struggling as it is. Tottenham get rid of Kane, they're going to have to find a good adequate replacement. Daniel Levy the other week was furious with Harry Kane for going public with his desire to leave. Harry Kane did have an interview with Gary Neville to discuss his future. And he came out, did Kane, and said that he'll decide on his own future, not Daniel Levy. He said though that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is open to selling Anthony Martial to fund a move for Harry Kane. Neville the other week named the 3 players Man United could swap for Harry Kane. You know, that's Martial, Jesse Lingard and Daniel James. But I said Kane will either come to us or he will go to Man City. Don't see him going to Chelsea. Not so long ago though, Chelsea did launch a bidding for him. Said they was willing to offer out Abraham and Arrizabalaga as part of a swap deal. But yeah, the other week, Harry Kane put a transfer request in at Tottenham. Obviously, he wants to leave. Kane obviously said that he wants to win team trophies. He said that after Tottenham's Carabao Cup final defeat to Man City, Tottenham have not won a trophy for like 13 years now. Harry Kane has obviously won the Golden Boot 3 times. Man United, Man City and Chelsea have all contacted his representatives. Ryan Mason, who's Tottenham's interim manager at the moment, he dismissed suggestions that Harry Kane has to leave the other week. The reasons I would take Kane at Manchester United is because he's regarded as one of the best strikers in the world. He's a prolific goal scorer. He's well proven in the Premier League. And he'd fit our team perfectly. So they are the reasons. Harry Kane has been at Tottenham for 17 years. So he's been a long servant. Been in their senior squad since 2009. He came up Tottenham's academy. Got a contract with them until 2024. He's had loan spells before with Leyton Orient, Millwall, Norwich and Leicester. Said at one point the Glazers were planning to sanction a £90 million bid. You obviously know the news on Rafael Varane from Real Madrid. Apparently Man United are prepared to double his wages. We've been handed a boost in our pursuit of Rafael Varane because Real Madrid have completed the signing of David Alaba from Bayern Munich. Rafael Varane recently spoke out on his future. Rafael Varane said it's unlikely his future will be resolved for the summer's European Championships. Man United have already held talks with Rafael Varane's representatives. Real Madrid are demanding $60 million for Varane. Not so long ago, they rejected a £40 million bid. Fabrizio Romano did say that Rafael Varane is the main name on our list, and we was waiting to see what happens with his situation at Madrid. Current contract expires next year. His contract talks with Real Madrid stalled a while ago. He does want to come to the Premier League, Varane, though. He said earlier on this year was prepared to sanction a £100 million move for him back in 2018 and went in for him 10 years ago. I'd love Man United to sign Varane because he would complement Harry Maguire very well in our back line. He's highly experienced. He's a world-class centre-half. And he's got a good pedigree as a player, so they are the reasons to be a good signing. Varane's won like 18 major honours at Real Madrid. Been a long servant with them. He's enjoyed 10 years with them. Made over 300 appearances in all competitions. Real Madrid paid just €10 million for him from Lens back in 2011. But we've been looking at quite a few centre-halves. We want a centre-half despite Eric Bailly signing a new contract not so long ago. Jules Koundé from Sevilla. He recently spoke about his future. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants to make around 4 new signings in order for Man United to challenge for the Premier League title next season. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has been given a £150 million transfer budget to buy around 4 or 5 new players. Solskjaer is set to sign a new 3-year contract, despite our Europa League final loss. So our board are going to back Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Not long now until the summer transfer window opens. It opens on the 9th of June. The summer transfer window is going to be massive for Man United, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware of that. The summer transfer window will be his 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. But you know what? I'm expecting him to get the backing he deserves. Obviously, reflecting on what our board's come out and recently said. And plus, we've got John Murtaugh, he's our director of football. We've got Darren Fletcher, he's our technical director. And we've also got Matt Judge. And Matt Judge has been part of the club for a long time. I'm expecting outgoings in the summer transfer window as well. I've already gone through review the players I think should need to leave. I think De Gea needs to go, because I reckon now he's had his years at Man United. You know, he's endured 10 years at the club, being a long servant. Man United, by the way, are considering a swap deal involving De Gea and Jano Black from Atletico Madrid. I gave you the news on that a couple of days ago. De Gea, obviously, he's now our second choice goalkeeper, because Dean Henderson's our number one, but he was our number one, De Gea, for such a long time before Dean Henderson got the number one jersey. De Gea produced his best performances last season after the Everton collapse in February. And also, to his credit, he responded well to Dean Henderson getting the number one. But yeah, De Gea did cost us the final against Villarreal because he missed his penalty. Plus, he had 11 chances to save a penalty and he didn't save a penalty. He should have saved at least 1 or 2 of them. I reckon De Gea's had around 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been at Man United. Because in the last couple of years, he has been a liability, reflecting on the calamitous mistakes he's made. But a few years ago, definitely was regarded as one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Because he's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances in all competitions. At one point, it said that De Gea had made his transfer decision. It said that he's preparing to leave Man United. And it says Man United is set to pay off his huge contract. De Gea's on like £375,000 a week. And I think he's got, is it like 2 or just under 2 years left on his contract. I said there's a very good chance he'll go back to Spain. I think we also need to offload Sergio Romero, because he doesn't get in our team and most of his appearances have come in the cup games. I think we also need to offload Lee Grant. I recall Lee Grant making 1 appearance, and that was against Astana in the Europa League a few years ago. He's like, what, 37, 38 now, is he, Lee Grant? I think we got him on a free from Stoke. Phil Jones, I think we need to also offload him. Whether we're doing that, I do not know. Phil Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Phil Jones has endured 10 years at Man United, so he's been a long servant, but he's always been inconsistent, doesn't get in R11, and he's been out of injury for a long time. I think we also need to offload Diego Dalot permanently. He's out on loan with AC Milan at the moment. We need to loan Brandon Williams out, so obviously he gets a lot more opportunities and he gains more experience. Because Williams seldom plays for Man United, he's our 3rd choice left back. So it'd be the right decision to put him out on loan. Nemanja Matic, we need to also offload him. because he's not one of our first choice midfielders, and I do have my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a slow player, and plus he's aging up. And analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he has been inconsistent. But he has had some good games. We made a mistake giving him that new 3-year contract before the start of last season. Matic has been at the club around 4 years now. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Donny van de Beek, I think he should go in the summer transfer window. Donny van de Beek doesn't get enough starts at Man United. Van de Beek only started, 4 league games last season. You know, most of his appearances come from the bench. But he said not so long ago that Man United will reject any offers for Donny van de Beek. So reflecting on that, we are reluctant to let him go because Solskjaer's got big plans for him. Van de Beek has enjoyed 1 full season at Man United. Juan Mata, I'm expecting us to offload him. Solskjaer did say, though not so long ago, that no decision has yet been made on Juan Mata's future. Juan Mata's current contract expires very, very soon. He has an option to trigger his contract for a further year. But Juan Mata hardly plays for us. My element of concern about him, he's lost that yard of pace. At the first part of last season, Mata rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. Juan Mata's enjoyed 7 years at Man United. I think he's had a good career with us. We got him in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2014. And Anthony Martial, I think we also need to offload him. Martial has been out with a knee injury for a long time. And he's no longer good enough to represent Man United. For the vast majority of last season, when he was fit, you know, he was very, very poor. The chances were there for Martial, but he didn't convert them. But the players we do sell in the summer transfer window will generate money and it will help us with our rebuilding process. But there's also a lot of players that are going to stay at Man United, and I reckon there's quite a few players that have got long-term futures at the club. But yeah, like I say, it's very imperative that Solskjaer gets the players he wants in the summer transfer window. Next season is going to be massive for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and I think he's aware of that. Next season, he's got to exceed expectations if he's to remain Man United manager, because if things start to go wrong next season, then the pressure will be back on Solskjaer. Solskjaer has now enjoyed 2 full seasons at Man United, and he's been in charge of the club for, 29 months, so he's been with us over 2 years. Solskjaer has not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy for 4 years. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. Solskjaer did say last season was obviously not a successful season because obviously we lost the Europa League final against Villarreal. That final against Villarreal was a chance of Solskjaer getting his first trophy on the board. But despite us losing that Europa League final, you know, I've still got to credit Ole Gunnar Solskjaer because I didn't expect him to do as well as he has done. You've got to say he's done well to say the squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. He is our best manager since Ferguson. But the things I've got to credit Solskjaer for, is that, he did get us to the final of the Europa League last season. Obviously didn't win it, but he still got us to the final. That was his first major final as Man United manager. He got us a second place finish last season. So you can say that progress was made from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first full season. We went the entire season without losing away from home last season in the Premier League, which is a good record. Solskjaer got us to the FA Cup quarter-final last season, the EFL Cup semi-final. He did well in his first full season. Got us to 3 semi-finals and got us a third place finish. I think he has made good signings as Man United manager. So far, he's spent almost £300 million. Obviously, hasn't got all the players though that he wanted to recommend in as yet. Hopefully that changes in the summer transfer window. And he's got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. And I like the way he has promoted the youth. And so they are the things you have got to credit Solskjaer for. Yeah, I do have my concerns about him as well. Obviously, there is some Man United fans that are Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in, and they believe that he needs more time at the club despite the loss to Villarreal. But there's some Man United fans that are Ole out, reflecting on that loss against Villarreal. I don't think he's a long-term manager for Man United, but I hope I'm proven wrong. He hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, has he? He's gained some managerial experience, reflecting now on his being with us, but before he was with us, he was at Molde. He won a few Norwegian titles at Molde, but they're not a big club. He enjoyed 2 spells at Molde, and before he was at Cardiff, and his record at Cardiff was absolutely disastrous. But whatever happens with Solskjaer, we'll still always adore him. At the end of the day, he is a club legend. He enjoyed 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Sir Alex Ferguson's guidance. So Ollie knew when he'd taken over at Man United it was going to be a massive job, despite him knowing the club through thick and thin. We did appoint Ollie in December 2018 to replace Jose Mourinho, didn't we? He's been permanent Man United manager since March 2019. Don't forget, Ole is our 4th permanent manager since Ferguson. The 3 managers we've sat since Ferguson was David Moyes. We sacked him after 10 months. We finished 7th under the Moyes era. That's the worst manager we've ever had. We sacked Louis van Gaal after 2 years, despite him winning the FA Cup. And we sacked Jose Mourinho after 2.5 years, despite him winning 3 trophies and getting 2nd place in his first season. So you can say Mourinho did enjoy 1 good season at Man United. But the reasons it didn't work out under Mourinho is because he had a bad 2nd season. Plus, he had bad disputes with a lot of the top players. He had bad disputes with the board. And in general, the board weren't backing the signings that he wanted to recommend in. We've spent over £1 billion in the last 8 years or so. And we've brought around 37 players in since Ferguson retired. We've overpaid for players in recent years, and in general our recruitment's been poor, and in that aspect the blame stems from the board. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013, which is 8 years ago now. So anyway guys, I'll be on with more videos soon. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.